Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana.
Hello, my fellow countrymen. It is February 20th, 2021. I want to talk about the Green New Deal the Democrats are proposing because much of what they're proposing for energy these days has proved to be a failure with the weather problems that Texas has had with the frigid cold weather. It appears that these windmills freeze up and they're useless. So that is a problem. Can it be overcome? Who knows? They're going to have to be built with antifreeze systems in them, at least. And I would imagine adverse weather is going to affect solar panels also. When you have cloudy weather, low sunlight, snow getting on the solar panels, God forbid you had a hailstorm and they damage a solar panel farm. You're talking about thousands of solar panels being destroyed in one storm. I do not see this being cost effective or reliable. Yet, these friggin' insane, mentally ill Democrats are still going to want to push forward on it, spend billions, if not trillions of dollars on a system that's going to fail at the slightest problem. Because they're still insisting that they have to get rid of coal, they have to get rid of fossil fuels, no more fracking, no more drilling, no more pipelines. And you know why there's no more pipelines? It has nothing to do with they don't want the fuel to come across the country. It's just that Warren Buffett, a major Democrat donor, owns railroads. And as long as he owns those railroads, even though it costs 10 to 20 times more to send oil over the railroad, the Democrats are going to have us spend that extra money to have the oil transported over railroads instead of pipelines. And of course, the taxpayers and the users of this fossil fuel are going to have to pay. You see it already. Joe Biden's been in office, what, a month now? Fuel prices are up already over 50 cents. And that's not a coincidence. It's not even springtime yet. It's not even the beginning of the vacation driving season, the summer driving season, where the prices normally go up. There's also the refineries decide to wait for the driving season to close down to do their maintenance. Why? I don't know. It sounds counterproductive. I guess they want to force those prices up for a couple weeks to get every nickel they can since they got to do maintenance and it probably costs money. Well, anyway, that's more of the mentally ill. Now, we told you also before you let Joe Biden fucking be installed that he was going to go after First Amendment, Second Amendment. He was going to go after all the amendments. And he was going to try to twist certain amendments around to use them against other people and other entities. Like how they want to use, I think it's the 13th or 14th Amendment against certain politicians because of what happened on January 6th. They're trying to make a bunch of angry people just running around the Capitol pissed off sound like an organized resistance and revolt, like there was some kind of Confederate army. Now, remember, the Confederates were the Democrats. They were happy with slavery down south. They wanted slavery down south. They didn't think their economy could survive without it. They were begging for it. But the abolitionist Republicans, which is us, said no. And we still say no to this day. That's why we tell all races of people, you can do whatever you want. There's no systemic racism anywhere that stops people from living their dreams. Any more so than racism against me. Yes, because other races and other nationalities have been discriminatory towards me in the past, and I know that. I'm not stupid. But never let it stop me. And nobody should let it stop them. What stops you is Democrats telling you you're too fucking stupid to do things. You're too stupid to pay your own fucking student loan. Like you didn't know what you were getting into. You're too stupid to buy a house. We'll have to give you one. You're too stupid for this. And remember, you're too stupid to have a fucking voter ID. Because according to Democrats, 1 in 4 minorities don't have an ID or a way to prove themselves to get an ID. Maybe if you count the illegals and the people that are not supposed to be here that don't have proper paperwork, that may be the case. But if you're an American citizen or here legally, you have the documentation to get whatever you need. And it's going to be provided for free. And it's already been stated such. So there's no excuse. You can't have a voter ID. So when you sit there and say, I vote Democrat, your parents and your grandparents been voting Democrat, and you've been living in squalor. It's about time that ends, don't you think? I like how the Democrat Party blames Republicans for things where there's not a friggin' Republican for 100 miles that's been elected to office. You know, they blame the Republicans for what happens in the inner cities. There's no Republican around the inner cities at all. It's all Democrat. Top to fucking bottom. You keep voting for them. They keep fucking you. You keep voting for them. And they keep fucking you. The voter has to end that cycle. Because the politician's not going to end that cycle. Because you keep voting for them. So as long as you keep voting for them, they think, hey, it's all right. They don't mind getting fucked. We just keep fucking them, keep stealing from them, keep giving them the short end of the stick. Yeah, pay high taxes and your fucking schools are duct taped together with no supplies. The teachers and the administration are robbing the school system blind. But, hey, that's okay. And when they get caught, oh, the Republicans' fault. They don't give us enough money. No, you steal all the fucking money. I can tell you, I lived in the town of Irvington, New Jersey, and I think the last 3 mayors all went to fucking jail for corruption. Newark Mayor Sharp James went to jail for corruption. There's corruption in all the Democratic cities in this state of New Jersey. Some got caught, some haven't been caught yet. But I guarantee it, if there's a Democrat in office in an urban area, they got their hands where it don't belong, taking things that aren't theirs. And that's Joe Biden at the top of the heap doing the same thing. Your life and liberty is at risk with Democrats in charge. Because it's just like any other leftist. They got to get the guns out of the people's hands before they can securely put the boot of government on your neck. And that has been repeated in history for hundreds of years. Disarm the population, take their wealth, take their liberty, and don't let up. And then what do you got to do? You got to go around in secret and collect these weapons up again. And hopefully you don't get caught before you can do a revolution to get your liberty back. We don't want to take it that far. Joe Biden talks about he's going to do something about banning assault rifles. Now, what is an assault rifle? Anything that looks scary to a Democrat. All it is a semi-automatic rifle. You pull the trigger once, a bullet comes out. You pull the trigger, a bullet comes out. You don't have to cock the bolt or anything like that. It's not an automatic weapon where you lay on the trigger. That's why they say these military-style weapons. You show me what military has only semi-automatic weapons. And I'll show you a military that's going to get their ass kicked completely on the battlefield. Don't let these fucking lying authoritarian pricks take your fucking weapons. If they make these bans, bury your fucking weapons in the backyard. Bring them to wherever you have to bring them to hide them, but do not relinquish them. Once you do, your ass is going to be the government's, and they are going to abuse you like you've never been abused. You think we have taxation without representation now? You think we have unfair laws now? You think you're paying too much now in taxes and fees? You think we got too many regulations now? Wait till you're disarmed and defenseless and the fucking leftist pricks know it. You're gonna have fucking an ass full of problems. Because they are coming for us all. That's the bottom line. Pay attention to what Joe Biden's doing. Pay attention to what these fucking Democrats are doing. And don't worry about Donald Trump. He's a big boy. He can take care of himself. Yes, we can support him. We do support him. But don't lose track of the big picture. These fucking authoritarian leftist fucks, they want to rule us the way fucking Hugo Chavez ruled in Venezuela, the way Fidel Castro ruled in Cuba, and the way Kim Jong-un is ruling in North Korea. That's how they want to treat us. And you know damn well, with the Green New Deal and the poor weather, we're going to be sitting in the dark, freezing our asses off, but guarantee you what? The fucking lights will be on in Washington, D.C. The lights will be on at every governor's fucking mansion. Guarantee it. We're going to have our upper government class with all the goods and all the luxuries, and they're going to be us on the bottom. The fucking poor slob voter. It doesn't even matter if we vote because they're fixing the fucking elections now anyway. And anybody that says there wasn't fraud or there wasn't illegal goings on during this election is fucking blind or fucking stupid. You're one or the other. Or just a blind fucking partisan. If Donald Trump cheated like that, I wouldn't support it either. Because I don't want these kind of people in our government representing me. All right. Keep your eye on Joe Biden. Keep your eye on Kamala Harris. Keep your eye on Congress and the Senate. Because they're going to fucking want to play ball. And I'm telling you, you're going to have to be busy fucking reaching out and demanding your liberties. Demand them. These are given to us by God, and the government is supposed to guard them. They're not supposed to lord over us. They're not supposed to tell us what we can and can't do, as long as we're not hurting anybody. Liberties are ours by God, and the government has no business taking them, has no right to take them, and we can never let them take them. Until next time, take your liberty. Retake your liberty.